Okay, it's recording.
Okay, get everybody. Including yourself.
And me. Hi.
I think she said okay.
Okay, so that's 5.
Okay.
And then you. Okay,
Right.
go.
So, April 13th, 2001, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, on the grounds of the state capitol. This is where Ann and I had our commitment ceremony. It wasn't legal. Most churches say marriage is defined as being between one man and one woman. The U.S. Constitution guarantees equal rights for all Americans. I see a problem here. Do you? It doesn't matter if you're straight or gay. I'm going to persuade you tonight that legalizing same-sex marriage in all states would be a good thing. I am a woman that has been married to men, and now I'm married to a woman. Tonight I'm going to talk about 3 things. The impact of not being legally married, the pros and cons of legalizing same-sex marriage, and the benefits that states can have by legalizing same-sex marriage. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the impact of not being legally married. There's all kinds of different things that impact same-sex couples when they're not able to be legally married. Financial, filing taxes together, we can't do that. Buying a home, it's more difficult for us as a couple to buy a home. Getting joint insurance, unless you work for a company that allows it, you don't get that opportunity either. Health problems. When Ann was sick, there was no guarantee that I was going to be allowed at her doctor's visits, in the hospital, get information from the doctors during her surgery, being able to be with her for her treatments. None of that was guaranteed. If she had died, or if I were to die, she wouldn't get my benefits, I wouldn't get her benefits. Even a life insurance policy, we're not guaranteed to have that. Adoption, it's very difficult for gay and lesbian couples to adopt children. We get grief for being co-parents because people think children should have a mother and a father. So I just talked about the impact of not being legally married. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of legalizing same-sex marriage. So on procon.org, a website that I just accessed yesterday, there's a thing that says, should gay marriage be legal? So here are some of the different pros and cons of same-sex marriage. Some of the pros are able to publicly celebrate our commitment to each other. Same benefits that heterosexual couples have. More people today support same-sex marriage than ever before. We're protected by the Constitution for liberty and equality. It won't harm heterosexual marriage or family values, and it is our civil right. Some of the cons that were listed on the site is, one man and one woman. It'll weaken the institute of marriage. People believe that our tax dollars are supporting something wrong. Children, like I said a few minutes ago, children are affected in a negative way when they are being raised by same-sex couples. People believe that marriage is a privilege, not a right, and they don't believe that it is a civil rights issue. I think they're wrong. So we just talked about the pros and cons of same-sex marriage. Now we're going to talk about some of the benefits that states would have by legalizing same-sex marriage. Catherine Perry wrote an article for the Christian Science Monitor website called The Cost of Gay Marriage in Dollars and Cents, where she talked about if same-sex couples were allowed to marry, it brings added revenue for marriage license, higher taxes, and it will decrease the cost of state benefit programs. That was in May of 2009. In June of 2007, William C. Thompson Jr. wrote an article called Love Counts, the Economic Benefits of Marriage Equality for New York. I found his article on the New York City Comptroller website, where these are just tables that talk about the different, it shows the different things that the city and state of New York were able to accomplish over a 3-year period. It brought $142 million to the city economy and $184 million to the state's economy by legalizing same-sex marriage in New York. There were people from Florida, New Jersey, California, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Texas, Connecticut, Virginia, and then other states as well that all went to New York to get married when that was legalized several years ago. That's why they made so much money. If all the other states would see that it would bring that financial impact to them, maybe they would be a little more willing to do it. Also in the Pediatrics magazine in July of 2006, James Pawelski wrote an article called The Effects of Marriage, Civil Union, and Domestic Partnership Laws on the Health and Well-Being of Children. In that article, he talks about a study that was done that found children of lesbian mothers rated higher in social and academic competence with fewer social problems than children of heterosexual parents. I loved that. Got a real thrill out of that one. On National Public Radio, there was an interview May of last year, 2013, with Shankar Vendam about the banning same-sex marriage and the impacts that it has psychologically. 248% increase of generalized anxiety disorders when banning same-sex marriage. So tonight we've talked about the impact of not being legally married, some of the pros and cons of same-sex marriage, and the benefits for all states to legalize same-sex marriage. April 13th, 2013, Assotin, Washington. Happiest day of my life.
Are you crying now?
Yes.
Okay.
I was able to legally marry my soulmate. So, in response to this speech, what I would like to ask all of you here to do is that when you leave with the promise that you will write a letter or make a phone call to your senator about how important it is for Idaho to join others so that we can get same-sex marriage legalized here in Idaho. So in closing, I'm going to quote Senator Ed Murray from Washington State in the signing ceremony that legalized same-sex marriage there a couple years ago. He said, "My friends, welcome to the other side of the rainbow."
Yay! Woo! Yeah!
Woohoo! It's a good thing I wasn't in that study.